Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. I think we're ready to do this. Okay, the time is 9:30 p.m. Just finished part 2 to WrestleMania 36, night 2, whatever you want to call it. It's done. There's a lot to say about this. Like I said before in my part 1 review, there's some positives, there's some negatives, but I'm going to have a different opinion from a lot of people when it comes to part 2 of this show tonight. There's some things I really did like, and then there's some things that either questionable decisions, of course, and I'm sure a lot of people have thought that also, and we're going to get to that. So it's going to be a lot to say for this night 2 of WrestleMania 36. So we are done with this, after tonight with WrestleMania and everything. So it's going to be a lot to say. Because what this show started about 5 p.m. And I'm not going to have a lot to say about the pre-show because I really couldn't have cared either way. And looking who was on the pre-show, this could have been a match you would have put on Raw, and I don't think anybody would have cared anyways, between Natalya and Liv Morgan. It was whatever, honestly, and I know it didn't really go on that long. Or General, you would have saw this on Raw, and I don't think the crowd would have cared, especially given Natalya, and I know people just don't really like Natalya anyways. They either go to the bathroom during this. For some reason, they have Liv Morgan go over her by roll-up. I don't know why. Like I said, this match was random. It was just on the card to be on the card. And, you could have just saw this on Raw. Nobody would have cared either way. With a crowd, without a crowd, nobody would have cared about this match. So, Liv Morgan beating Natalya, I don't know where this really goes. My neighbor said something like, why didn't you just have it go against Ruby Riott with Liv Morgan? That would have made more sense. But I think they passed that storyline or whatnot. So, this is what we got from that. But getting on the main part of this show, we kicked it off once again with another video from Stephanie McMahon. Of course, trying to promote herself, telling everybody about night 2 for WrestleMania. So, yeah, whatever. It was too big for one night, so we need 2 video packages or something, somebody said tonight. Why? I don't know. Gotta get Stephanie on there one way or another. They did the same pirate video package what they did last night. That was pretty funny. And we kicked it off with Gronk, Goofball Gronk, I like to call him, to pretty much welcome everyone. And he says he's going to drop the hammer. Makes no sense, but we kick off the show with the NXT title, Women's Championship on the line. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. This is a match I really enjoyed. And we're going to get to the finish. We're going to get to where a lot of people are pissed right now. Because trust me, I've already had several people, I'm not going to name them, but have already came in bitch to me already saying that literally after the first match, they was like, don't talk to me about WrestleMania. They just immediately, as soon as they saw one match, they just said the whole show sucks. I'm not going to name who, but there are some people that have already came up and said, I'm not watching this, and by the way, these are people that didn't even watch the show. They just looked up the results and didn't even watch the match, but I have some things to say about, who won and everything, but I enjoyed this match. This was probably one of the best matches of the night, if you ask me. This was great. This is, I would say, arguably the best women's match out of this weekend for WrestleMania. I will say that. And they had a lot of time out there, Charlotte and Ripley. They had nearly about 20 minutes out there. A lot of people said Ripley's gear looked like Vegeta. I think Cedric Alexander said something on Twitter tonight about her gear. But, this was a fantastic opener. I really enjoyed this match. This was great. Especially, Charlotte targeting Ripley's leg throughout the match. Even Ripley, who pretty much got the riptide in the beginning, literally in the beginning of this match. For a near fall until, Charlotte got out of it. Like I said, Charlotte was focusing on Ripley's knee throughout most of the match. Which, Ripley was either trying to dodge Charlotte or take her down several times to get out of that. Because it's like Charlotte kept going for that figure 8 but could never get it. But, Ripley was able to take her down. But like a big boot or something like that. But, Charlotte was able to always kind of get out of it. Once again, targeting Ripley's knee. Ripley yelling several times. Charlotte pretty much throwing her leg into the corner. Or just just knocking into the turnbuckle post several times. Even both women chopping each other back and forth. I swear at one point, I could tell this was an edited shot. But I know, I think Ripley did a big boot, but I think she was on the ground already, and it looked very edited, so I know it was a lot of shots that were edited in this match, which was kind of odd. But, Ripley trying to come back with a comeback, taking down Charlotte. But, Charlotte pretty much was able to get into the ropes. Once again, targeting back on that knee again. Trying to go for a finisher. Still could not work. Ripley even put her into that cloverleaf finisher she has. I think that's what it's called. A cloverleaf or something. But Charlotte was able to... It was a standing cloverleaf. But Charlotte was trying to get to the ropes. Was able to kick her way out of it. Going for the figure 4, but Ripley was able to get out of it again. Charlotte kept trying to get for her leg, but ended up putting it into a Boston Crab. Ripley got out of it again. Pretty much, they kept going by roll-ups then, but, Charlotte was able to get up first, giving her a big boot to her knee. But, Ripley was able to pretty much, get out of it right after that. Next, they kept going back punch for punch. Ripley had Charlotte on the top rope then. And Ripley was trying to go for her, but, Charlotte ended up knocking her down. Charlotte did a moonsault from the, I think it was a second rope, but Ripley ended up putting her knee up, or her legs up then. Charlotte pretty much went back after that. Pretty much after that, Ripley got up then, but Charlotte ended up spearing her. Put her into the figure 4. Ripley was able to get out of it, pretty much getting for an inside cradle, but Charlotte once again targeted the knee, go for the figure 4, get the figure 8, and Ripley end up tapping out. And I'm sure a lot of people just lost their minds as soon as Charlotte won. Okay, personally, I thought this match was great. I enjoyed it. I kind of figured this was going to happen. Don't get me wrong, I know it was the wrong decision, and I wanted Ripley to win, okay? But I kind of saw this coming with Charlotte winning the title. Now, I know the thing is that it was a bad decision, and listen, I'm not the biggest fan, because, hey, once it was Charlotte now an 11-time champion, yeah, I didn't think she was going to win. I actually thought not Charlotte, but, Ripley was going to win. I feel like she probably needed to win more, because right now everybody's just saying Rhea Ripley got buried, she's done, there's no point, but then, she either could be moving up to the main roster, or we could see a rematch between Charlotte and Ripley, maybe at the next TakeOver, whenever there's going to be another TakeOver, but, like I said, there's a lot to say about this, and now I feel like they're probably going to put Charlotte on NXT, maybe to get ratings. I don't know how much of a draw she will get on NXT, for ratings and everything, but, me and my friend Steven said this tonight. We kind of just said this, like, Charlotte is the champion, but what if Bianca goes for the title, huh? You could probably build up the Bianca, and I'm sure a lot of people would mark out if Bianca beat Charlotte for the, the NXT Women's Championship. And I would like to see that. I think some people just aren't looking at the bigger picture in a way from this, okay? Now, I know a lot of people say, Vince, and here's the argument I saw people made tonight, and I thought this was kind of dumb. Several people said, once again, they put the title on another blonde woman, and people forget that both Charlotte and Rhea Ripley are blonde. They both are blonde and everything, so where's your argument? I saw several people on Twitter try to use that tonight, saying like, they put the title on another blonde woman. The title is already on a blonde woman, so where's your argument? I don't understand it. And the thing I liked about the match is this was what was great about it. It was just two giant women beating the dog shit out of each other. That's what people wanted to see. It was a great match. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the outcome, but I kind of figured this was happening. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great opener. I thought it was one of the best matches of the night, especially they gave him 20-something minutes out there. So I didn't really hate this match. I liked it. Like I said, I could do without Charlotte being the champion and everything, but maybe Ripley's going to Raw, maybe Ripley's going to SmackDown. I don't know. We could see a rematch for the NXT Women's Championship, like I said before. It could be that way. I don't know, but I overall enjoyed this match. It probably, like I'm sure everyone's going to say, yeah, it would have looked better in front of a crowd, but even in this empty atmosphere, I think it worked. Like I said, this was probably the best women's match I've seen out of the entire WrestleMania for both nights, okay? And I really did enjoy this match. Now, I don't know what happens with Ripley after. Like, well, I already explained what could happen, but like I said, it could be a rematch from this. Maybe they'll do a rematch when there is a crowd involved. I don't know, but like I said, Charlotte, 11-time champion. Basically, they still want her to be Ric Flair number 2. So, yeah, she will be 16-time champion, 20-time champion. I don't know how many time champion, but she will be that meantime champion soon enough. But overall, I like this match, okay? Not the biggest fan of the ending. No, I'm sounding like a broken record, but I just enjoyed the match overall, and it was great. It's just funny when I seen people already come to me say, like, Ripley got buried, don't even talk to me about WrestleMania. After one match, people just turned WrestleMania off already. They was like, I'm not watching this, screw them. And some people didn't even watch the match. You just read the result. You didn't watch it, so you can't even complain that much, okay, because you didn't even see the match. But, like I said, I'm not even mad at this. I'm not even mad like a lot of other people are, because maybe I just enjoyed the match that much, so I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. So overall, I thought that was a great opener. Great match to kick off the show. Fantastic. But moving on, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. A match with no build. And I don't know why, and I heard Lashley wasn't even going to be on this show, but I did enjoy Black's gear, whatever he came out with. Bobby Lashley wearing tights now, very interesting. I don't know why, but very interesting. He has tights. I don't think Lana had blonde hair this time also, but for what it was given the time, this was not bad. Okay? And once again, me and my friend Steven said this. If this was for the U.S. title, this could have worked. Especially for 7.5 minutes they had out there. This wasn't bad. Black and Lashley did pretty good given what the time they had out there. Yeah, there was no build to this or anything, but it was pretty decent. It was okay. Now, I'm sure the ending of this thing was, Lana getting involved. Lashley was going to go for the Dominator, but she kept telling him to do a spear. He agreed on to it. He was going to go for the spear, but Lashley ended up getting black masked by Aleister Black, and Aleister Black got the win. So, I kind of expected Aleister Black to get the win anyways, but obviously they're going to be ending this, Lashley and Lana thing, so, thank God for that, because I don't know what else they could have gone on with that point after that whole Rusev thing. So, hey, might as well just break them up at this point. So, I'm fine with that, since, Lashley just went along with Lana said and just lost. But, decent match. It was okay. It was pretty solid. So, yeah, Black got the win. Not bad. But, next thing you know, oh boy, this was some dumb. Well, what was it? No, it wasn't dumb yet, but, what do we go to next, huh? I think they went to Bayley and Sasha being interviewed by Caleb Braxton about the 5-way later on, and, Sasha pretty much saying, we'll see what happens tonight. One thing I want to address is that they're promoting Money in the Bank for next month. I don't even think it's gonna be a Money in the Bank next month anyway, so why are you promoting this show? I don't understand that. So, we're promoting Money in the Bank in May, which obviously will most likely not be happening. So, that was kind of odd. Next, we got Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Of course, they had the whole video package for that. This was good. I didn't mind this. I did not mind this at all. Ziggler came out with Sonya Deville. It was an okay match. I'm sure everybody was waiting for the big outcome, what was going to happen. Because, Otis and Ziggler, like I said, the match was going on. Of course, Sonya Deville was going to get involved. And next thing you know, Ziggler ended up kicking Otis in the nuts then right after. But when the referee was distracted and everything, Mandy Rose's music hit. Sonya Deville looked surprised. Mandy ran to the ring, slapped Deville to the ground, threw her around a little. Ziggler was like, what are you doing out here? Next thing you know, Mandy Rose ended up giving Ziggler a nut shot then. And then Otis ended up hitting the caterpillar move for the win. And, after that, he picked up Mandy Rose. And, she gave him a kiss. And, pretty much, this was a feel-good moment, basically. And you know what? I'll say it right here. This was one of those times where a crowd would have been great involved. Otis would have gotten such a big pop when he, beat Ziggler, because, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, they complete the story. He finally got the girl. He got the win. He can finally go on that date. He would have gotten a big pop if there was a crowd involved for this whole story. It was one of the best stories I actually kind of had on SmackDown, this whole Otis, trying to get with Mandy. And the crowd was behind Otis most of the time throughout this entire feud. So it would have been, it was a really good conclusion to all this, to the whole Otis and Mandy thing, okay? Because I'm sure Mandy would have gotten a big pop, slapping DeVille to the ground and, hitting Ziggler in the nuts. But, Otis, finally getting his big win. He finally beat Ziggler. He finally gets the girl. He finally gets the kiss. And, he can finally get that date. So he would have gotten a big pop if there was a crowd involved. So that's one of the things I did like throughout the night. But next, other than Otis and Ziggler, Edge and Randy Orton. Okay. Possibly the longest match on this entire card. That went 36 minutes in a last man standing match. Now, I will say this match did go long, but it told a great story. Because personally, this was the match I was really looking forward to. This was the best built match they had going into WrestleMania, was Edge and Orton. And I thought the build-up has been fantastic every week. They've been going all the way into this. But I do believe this went on a very, very long time. It kind of overstayed its welcome way too long. I enjoyed it, but it started to drag, and it dragged, and it just kept dragging on. So I was wondering, like, how long is this match about to go? Because I know it was over 30 minutes, okay? I already knew it was over 30 minutes, but now I found out it was like 36 minutes. I'm like, man, how long is this about to go? Because, Edge came out first. Orton was next, but he never, hit the ring. Edge was just waiting for Orton to come out. But next, Orton ended up RKOing him out of nowhere, which, when they showed the replay, Orton was dressed as a cameraman the whole time. And, he just took off the hat and everything, kept his hood on, and he RKO'd, Edge, and before he took off the, the hoodie and the pants and stuff, he was in his regular gear, and then the referee was checking on Edge. They called for the bell. Orton pretty much hit another RKO. Referee was counting to 9, but Edge ended up rolling to the outside of the ring. Orton focused on him, and, just throwing Edge over the barricade, and, they pretty much fought through the Performance Center, which they were in the gym, and Orton, I don't know, he had him like at the workout, or I don't know, there was like some straps there, and, he kind of started to choke, and he says, I always love you, man, I love you, and he's like, you gotta start choking, trying to choke out Edge with the straps and everything. One thing, I saw people on the internet say this, and I don't know if they were going a little bit too far with this and that, but when he was choking Edge on the straps, people were comparing this to the Chris Benoit murder thing going on. Listen, I've seen the Dark Side of the Ring documentary already, so I'm sure a lot of people were, going off of that because they kind of reenacted the whole thing on there. And it's like, oh, it's a gym, and this is almost like basically how Benoit killed himself, allegedly, maybe. But I'm just going by with the reenactment, because I saw the Dark Side of the Ring thing, and that's kind of pretty much how they described it and played it out. That's how Benoit somewhat similar killed himself, whatever you want to believe, if that's true in that. But I saw a lot of people tonight comparing this to the Benoit murder thing, and this is how Benoit killed himself. And I'm like, that wasn't my first thought when thinking of that, but I saw like several people tonight online just saying like, oh, they must have been watching Dark Side of the Ring. This is basically how Benoit did it. And I was like, really? I'm like, y'all kind of overthinking this a little bit too much now. I'm like, okay, that was a little bit too much overanalyzing, but that's what a lot of people thought when, Orton was choking out Edge, on the workout straps and everything. But, Orton pretty much threw Edge to the ground. Orton picked up one of the weights and everything, but Edge ended up using, one of the bars and pretty much used his, his feet to kick Orton down while he was holding the weight. Edge pretty much started going after Orton then, and he slammed him onto the table, and he sat him into like one of the office chairs, and he pretty much pulled himself on like one of the bars and threw himself into Orton and pretty much crashed into the ground. And then next, he threw him somewhere, and Edge jumped off one of the workout sleds and knocked Orton down. He kept saying, 9 years, Randy, 9 years. And he tried to throw him into the wall, but, Orton ended up reversing the Irish Whip, throwing him into the Edge into the wall. Orton pretty much still went at Edge, throwing him into, like, a weight racks and everything, throwing him through there, going to the production area. And they fought through the entire performance center because they were at somewhere back where it was like a lot of red lights. And, Edge ended up throwing Orton off the garage door, and they pretty much, I think they were back near the ring again, I believe, but they were on some platform, and Orton kept punching Edge and threw him off the platform onto the barricade, and Orton pulled him up before the 9 count, and he said, let's see what we got here, huh? Let's see what we got here, because he slammed Edge on some glass case, and then they went to the office area where the conference table was. Edge ended up throwing Orton into like some posters and some boxes, and then he had him on the table. And then Edge, like, he grabbed like the steel. I know you can't see me, but he climbed up like the steel and everything on top, above the conference table, and used like some monkey bars, and then kind of elbowed himself onto Orton right there, taking him down. So that was actually kind of interesting how he did that. And then they fought toward, once again, round the hallway, through some more posters. They ended up knocking the cameraman down. I think Edge killed the cameraman, knocking him to the ground then, until they got another one. And then they were somewhere near storage, and then they got chairs involved. Orton pretty much threw some chairs anywhere, it looked like, and even at Edge. And, he pretty much slammed him into some ring steps then. And, Edge got up before the 9 count. And then they were near the interview area. Edge, like, threw a sandbag at Orton in. Yeah, he threw some sandbags at him. And the commentary was just bad through this, because, like a lot of people said tonight, the commentary team of, Phillips and Saxon sounded like they were at a funeral. And I don't know, they were at, like, some production. And then, Edge, he threw Orton onto a table. And then he climbed up a truck, and then he did a big elbow drop off the truck onto a table, and somehow Orton's still able to get up by 9. And then they somewhere at another production, and there's like a pickup truck, and then Orton like puts Edge on top of the truck, and he tells the referee, don't count the 9 count until I tell you to count. He DDTs Edge onto like the back of the pickup truck then, and Edge just start climbing up some crates on top of another big semi-truck. And then, Orton's ribs are hurt from the elbow drop, and, Orton got up there. He was gonna kick Edge in the head, but Edge ended up spearing him then. And then as, Orton got up, Edge was gonna go for another spear, but Orton hit with an RKO then right after. But then he got down, got some chairs, got up to the top of the semi-truck, and just, I guess he was gonna concerto him, and the ref saying, tell him to stop, don't do this. He's got kids and everything, but before he could hit the concerto and stuff, Edge put him in like some type of triangle sleeper hold, and I guess he passed out Orton. His head was on top of the chair. Edge ended up looking up one man, just looked at Orton on the ground, and Edge picked up the chair, concertoed him, and the referee counted, and it was finally over after 36 minutes. Listen. And I gotta agree with a lot of people said about this tonight. The Ciampa Gargano brawl they had a few weeks ago on NXT was better than this. Listen, this told a great story. I get it what it was. It was very slow, very methodical. It was two guys trying to kill each other. And I still liked the match in a way, but it just went on too long. This was probably the longest match of the night, and it just dragged, and it dragged, and it dragged. It was great build going into this, but I just felt, and I felt like this match worked just given the whole story, but it just went on too long. I would have shaved at least a good, maybe 10 minutes, maybe at least go 30, maybe 27 minutes, and I would have been fine with that. And maybe they just brawled, but just moved very slow, very methodical. Like I said, it was a fight, of course, but maybe because it just wasn't fast-paced and everything. And like I said, just, they went all over the Performance Center and everything, but it just went too long. It just went really long, and I just thought the Gargano and Ciampa brawl from a few weeks ago was a little bit better in the Performance Center than what they had. Like I said, I still liked the match. It was two guys trying to kill each other. This is what it was supposed to be. It was a fight, but it overstayed its welcome. Okay, it went on too long. It just went on way too long. It was great to see Edge out there. It was finally great to see him back in the ring for WrestleMania, to even be in a match, but I think this could have went on a little bit shorter. Okay, I was getting to the point, I was like, how long is this match about to go? Because this has gone on way too freaking long, okay? Way too long. And then after the match, they got Mojo. Oh yeah, after the match, then they got, Mojo and these random wrestlers and the 24/7 title, and Gronk jumps off the perch and he ends up winning. Dude, who cares about the 24/7 title? And I know I saw Truth out there too, but hey, they gave Gronk the title. Let's give goofball Gronk a belt for whatever reason. I don't know. I go with my neighbor said, this man has no swag. He's got no rhythm. He's just a freaking goofball. And like I said in the review yesterday, they must want football fans to watch, or if you're a Patriots fan, because he's a former Patriots player now. He's retired. I don't know how long this Gronk thing is going to go. I don't know why they signed this guy, but it's been turning bad ever since they debuted this goofball on SmackDown, okay? He looks like an idiot. He is an idiot. And Mojo Rawley, like I said before, he needs to be praying, or just hoping, praying to whatever lucky stars. He should be lucky he's even on TV, or lucky enough he's even on WrestleMania right now, because this man would be in catering or something. He should be thanking his lucky freaking stars that they signed Gronk and he's his best friend, because this man would be in catering or be doing nothing. Nothing. So he should be lucky he's even on this show. But waste of time. Next though, we got the Street Profits going against Garza and Austin Theory for the tag team titles. This match was okay. Once again, this is one of these matches that looked like it could have been on Raw. Same with Black and, Lashley. Now that I remember, that could have just been a match on Raw. This is a match you could have put on Raw, and I would have been okay. Good to see Montez Ford is doing better after doing that dive. It looks like he could have broke his whole back from that after laying on the ground. But, at least this was fast-paced. It was what it needed to be, okay? It was what it was. It went like 6 minutes. It didn't overstay its welcome. It was okay. You could have put this title match on Raw or anything, but it was whatever. And, Street Profits won. Of course, Ford does his big dive outside the ring. He hits the frog splash on Austin Theory, and Dawkins gets the pin. So I knew Street Profits were going to retain, and, Austin Theory was going to be taking the L in this. He was going to be taking the pinfall. So I don't think this really hurts him anything, because he's still on NXT, and he's new, so it's like a lot of people said, the guy's got a bright future. I think they like this guy a lot, so he gonna be all right. But then right after, Garza and Theory ended up attacking the Street Profits. Vega got involved and, kicked Montez Ford. But then next thing you know, Bianca Belair ran out and pretty much attacked Vega. Ended up hitting him with the KOD right after and celebrated with the Street Profits. So good to see Bianca Belair making a WrestleMania appearance. I don't know if she's going to be on Raw or be with the Street Profits or anything, but it's just good to see Bianca Belair on TV in general, just making the save. And I'm sure a lot of people are excited to see her on here. Like I said, I still think it'd be a great idea if you just put Bianca against Charlotte, just given the little feud they had before. Charlotte already beat Bianca on NXT. I know people were mad at that. So, hey, what other way to get revenge or just get a big payback if Bianca can beat Charlotte for the title? Everybody wants to go with the whole, you don't go here thing. It would be great if, Bianca finally gets the big win over Charlotte and wins the NXT women's title. See, like I said, you gotta think far ahead of this. Motherfuckers thinking short term. I'm kind of thinking long term right now with this, okay? So you gotta really think. Like I said, I'm trying not to backtrack on the whole Ripley thing, and we already know how that went. But, hey, if you don't have Charlotte on NXT, Build up for Bianca to take the belt away from her, okay? That's if Bianca's still going to be on NXT. I'm not saying she's going to Raw or going to be, you know, with the Street Profits or anything, but, you know, just seeing her on, you know, on this show in general was a cool appearance, and everything, you know, they just celebrated and everything, Street Profits and, you know, Bianca, you know, put them, you know, they put on her shoulders and everything, so that was good. Good to see her make a good appearance on here. Then next thing you know, we got Titus O'Neil, who is now the host since Gronk is gone. I'm not mad at that for some reason. You know, okay, I'm good with Titus, so we then go next to the Fatal 5-Way Elimination SmackDown Women's Title. Bayley, Sasha, Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. Right off the jump, everybody starts jumping Tamina, trying to take her out, and everything, trying to knock her out of the way. But, you know, Tamina ended up fighting back. This was not bad. One thing I could take away from this was when, you know, Naomi, Sasha, and Tamina were in the ring. They formed a handshake, I guess, when they were in Team Bad and did that whole unity thing. But Tamina ended up kicking the shit out of Sasha then. And then next thing you know, everybody started hitting their finishers on Tamina. You know what, Sasha did like a 619, I believe, and I think a frog splash, and Bayley ended up hitting the elbow on her. Naomi does a split-legged moonsault. I think Lacey did like her moonsault, and they all end up pinning Tamina, taking her out. They all have to pretty much gang up on the big girl, gang up on the biggest threat in the match to take her out. Pretty much then right after, Naomi was gone next, because I think Naomi was about to take out Sasha, you know, after she put a submission hold in on her, but Bayley broke it up. Sasha ended up hitting the bank statement on Naomi. She was gone right after. And pretty much then, right after that, Sasha and Bayley started jumping Lacey Evans, but she kept kicking out. You know, they kept double teaming her until, you know, Bayley was trying to go for Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans moved. She pretty much she accidentally hit Sasha then. Next thing you know, they started arguing with each other. And, you know, Banks was pretty pissed until Lacey Evans came out of nowhere and pretty much hit Sasha with the women's right, and Sasha was gone. And I'm sure many, many people were pissed off by that. And I think people were starting to worry now if Lacey Evans was about to win this match. But since it was her and Bayley left, Bayley was doing what she could to fight off Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans looked like she was about to get the win, but Sasha came back, hit the backstabber on Lacey Evans. Bayley ended up hitting her with, I don't know what that finisher is called, what Bayley does, but Bayley still retained the women's title, and I am not mad about that either way, okay? The story away from this, it was going to become, some way it was going to be between Sasha and Bayley, and this is look like where it's going to, because even I was about to say, if Lacey Evans win this title, now people can go on the internet and complain, like, now you can go on and say, oh, now they put the belt on another blonde woman. You can't really say that about the NXT title one because it was already two blonde women fighting for the title. Now, if Lacey won this, now you could use the term, oh, yes, they put the belt on another blonde woman again. Now I would agree with you on that argument. But since, you know, Bayley retained, Sasha was holding the title still and ended up giving it to Bayley. So sometime, sooner or later in the future, we will see Bayley versus Sasha for the women's title. I don't know when, I don't know where, maybe SummerSlam, depending how long this virus keeps going, but like I said, I'm not really thinking of any timetables right now, because I don't know how long this whole virus thing is gonna go, so I'm just trying to give the best option I can for it, okay? But, maybe it will be SummerSlam, I don't know, but like I said before, sometime, and I mean sometime in the near future, we will see Sasha versus Bayley for the title. So Bayley retaining, I don't mind that. But now we get into this. The FireFly Funhouse match. Oof, I don't know what to say about this. I really don't know what to say about this. You have to be, and there was a lot of nostalgia, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a ball laughing to this match, but there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And I'm going to go over it first before I give my final opinion, because even I'm still a little confused on what to say about this. Because, okay, we do the video package for John Cena and Bray Wyatt, right? John Cena comes out and does his regular entrance, but then the camera pretty much goes to the whole welcome to WrestleMania, which had like clips of Vince McMahon and, Mean Gene. And then next, we get Bray Wyatt, his regular Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers version. And he says, welcome to the FireFly Funhouse. And he welcomed Cena there. John Cena was in the Funhouse. And Rabbit was there. And he says, hey, dude, Cena, man, what's good, dude? He went through that door. Cena goes through the door, right? And, oh, man. It's in some dark ring. Or it's in the darkness, right? Cena's standing in the darkness. We got the Vince McMahon puppet show up. And he kept talking about ruthless aggression. Sacrifice your body, your mind, your soul. To be the success of this company. You need to show me ruthless aggression, okay? Ruthless aggression. And he kept saying that, the Vince McMahon puppet. And we went to Wyatt in the ring. They went to Bray Wyatt, right? And he did the same thing that Kurt Angle did years ago. So we're reenacting John Cena's debut against Kurt Angle all the way back from 2002 on SmackDown. And he says, who's going to be the one to challenge? He gave us the open challenge, right? So we get John Cena. The old John Cena. The first time we ever saw John Cena, when he was still the prototype, I guess still in OVW, making his debut back in his old original gear. Other than him, the only thing that's different about him is his JBL haircut, which I wish he cut that, by the way, but he looks odd with that. That's why I'm used to seeing him with a hat now. That's the only way you can tell it's John Cena, but, Wyatt pretty much says, what is the one thing that you have, from everything else? Basically the same thing Kurt Angle said, and John Cena said, ruthless aggression. And just like back then, he swung it, Wyatt, just like he did with Kurt Angle, but, Bray Wyatt kept ducking and dodging and says, man, I don't know why nobody didn't try this a long time ago. So, next thing you know, they got Mercy the Buzzard and Vince McBoss Puppet on, they're on the commentary team, right? And then we go to Saturday night's main event. And we got Wyatt. It's like the old school WWF. And I know I wasn't around in the 80s and everything, but Wyatt's trying to be like Hulk Hogan and everything. And he wants to introduce his new tag team partner, the Johnny, what do you call them? Like leg arms or something, strong, whatever this was. And they, like I said, they got the Saturday night main event right there. And he's trying to act like Cena's in his regular gear then. Like, like his original gear he's got right now. And next thing you know, Wyatt is just saying, like, come on, man, you gotta be a partner, like, talk about brother and everything. So basically, kind of comparing Cena to Hulk Hogan. And Cena's just got these weights, right? And he's just lifting his arms up and down, lifting his arm and down, like just lifting the weights. And then Cena looks like his arms are hurt and he can't control his own body. And he's like, he can't punch Wyatt and everything. And he's just kind of like, just almost like he can't fight him back, and Wyatt's just standing there. And then next thing you know, we go to Rapper Cena. We go back to the basic Thugonomics Cena then, which I will say John Cena does still have some type of bars that's still left in him. So he starts talking about Wyatt then, rapping about him. And I ain't gonna lie, there was some hard bars he came up with too, but, talking about Husky Harris, about your weight, you can't control it, you like a stripper, a prostitute, you just keep giving out blowjobs and wasting your opportunity, just making all these rhymes like, you fat, you whack, you out of shape, you out of date, you late, man, you just taking up space, you wasted up every opportunity, you just wasted every chance, you couldn't make it to the dance, you got ants in your pants, I'm just making up rhymes as I go, and I show, and I flow, and you know how I go, and I'm gonna stop rapping, I'm not gonna try right now. If I wanted to try, I really would've, but I'm just kinda going along with whatever Cena was rapping, but, Wyatt then start talking about John Cena then after he made, Cena did his rap jokes at him, and Wyatt just nodded at him, and he says, how dare you talk about chances, John? You're the golden goose around here. You're untouchable and everything. And your weakness is that you turn others into jokes. All right, that's what you are. This is your last chance to make this right. And Cena just looked at him and he says, man, don't come up here coming into my house. Think you gonna go with this? all you gonna get is these nuts. And he threw some nuts at him. And then he tried to charge at Wyatt, but Wyatt, he teleported out of there somewhere. And Cena just ended up punching punching the ring then, he punched the turnbuckle then, and then he's in the middle of the ring, and Wyatt ended up punching him, and then next thing we go back to 2014 Bray Wyatt. So now at WrestleMania 30, we're back to the old Bray Wyatt cult leader, I tell you right here, I was hanging out in that bayou, old son. I tell you, man, what's going on? I can't do a good Wyatt impression, but we go to that version of Bray Wyatt, and then he goes back to his old Bray Wyatt's promos, and with the rocking chair, and that Cena ruined it, the prophecy, and then next thing you know, Wyatt is like running his walking, rocking chair in, and he's gonna write his own story. Cena's got his 2014, his 14 year that you can't stop me, and then Wyatt starts attacking John Cena. He kind of dances him with him in before giving him Sister Abigail. Cena gets out of it, and Cena's like, we both know that's not enough to end it, Superman. And then Wyatt pretty much got on his knees, and he says, we know this will. And he gave Cena to the chair. He's like, do what you should have done 6 years ago. End it. You want to stop me, right? Do what you should have done. Don't make the same mistake. Cena looked at the chair because he didn't hit him back then with the chair at WrestleMania. So he swung the chair at him, and then, Wyatt was gone. And then next thing you know, here we go, WCW Nitro. We got Eric Bischoff, except he's wearing a Wolfpack shirt. And, Wyatt's trying to act like Eric Bischoff, like, welcome, I got love. I got nothing but love for all you people out there. So we got Eric Bischoff back. That's how Bischoff did back in, Nitro and everything. And he says, like, welcome, man. Come on. He's just doing all these Eric Bischoff impressions, NWO version. And then we bring out Hollywood Cena or Hollywood Hogan. So we got the NWO music playing. Cena's got the NWO shirt. So we got NWO Cena now. And he's acting like Hogan, coming out with like the WCW title and doing the too sweet sign and everything with Wyatt. So we got the new Hogan and Bischoff right here, people. Hogan and Bischoff. And then Cena took off the hat and the shirt and ended up attacking Wyatt, and he kept punching him and until he punched him several times until he found out it was just Huskus the pig then. And they played all these flashbacks of Cena of all the people who he's went against, from The Rock to CM Punk to Kurt Angle, Batista, Undertaker, several people Cena win against. And then we go back to, the Vince puppet saying, this is good shit. And I'm sure we all know what that line is from. And you can tell Vince had a lot to do with this whole segment, okay? Because you knew he was going to take some shots at the fans, especially because a lot of people say that on the internet. I think when John Moxley had said that whole, this is good shit and everything. I guess, I'm sure Vince or someone in the back thought about, hey, let's use this line. Everybody wants to use it against Vince all the time on the internet against them. When something bad happens in WWE, they'll put up a picture of Vince and they'll say, this is good shit. And how appropriate was that line? So you could tell throughout this entire FireFly Funhouse segment, they found a way to take shots at the fans, okay? But, Cena, he ended up punching the puppet, and then next thing you know, the Fiend showed up, and he put him in a mandible claw, and pretty much they played the Cena's promo, I think, from SmackDown, saying, like, I'm gonna take out the most overhyped, overprivileged WWE superstar history and finish the job like he did 6 years ago. And then he hit him with the Sister Abigail, and then, hit him with the mandible claw, and then we got the regular Bray Wyatt hitting the pinfall on him, and the Fiend won, and, Cena disappeared. And then Titus O'Neil just looked confused, and he says, I don't know what we just watched. So, basically, I can't even tell you who won. I guess Bray Wyatt won this match. Now, did I get a kick out of this? Yes, I did. Did I laugh a lot? Yes. Did this look just insanely ridiculous throughout this entire time? Yes, it did. It was insanity. You had to be on an acid nostalgia trip. This was basically a nostalgia trip through both Cena and Wyatt's careers, okay? From Cena going all the way back to 2002 against Kurt Angle, ruthless aggression first starting out, and there was some things I did have to do with their career, like the Saturday night main event thing, kind of acting like Hogan and stuff, doing the old WWF promos with the steel cage in front of it. That was good. I'll say that also, but we got, rapper Cena then, Basic Thugonomics, like what, 03, 04. So, and you know, one cool thing I missed also, they had the big SmackDown fist. I missed the old SmackDown fist behind John Cena. So, you know, like I said, he had his old rap gear. I wish it looked like his clothes was too big for him. And again, it was like that at the time too. But hey, hey, if Cena was still spitting bars, I don't mind. He still had a couple rhymes. I know I don't have them in front of me to read you off on, but I'm not gonna lie, it did sound good though. But like I said, we got you know, rapper Cena, and then we went to 2014 Cena and Bray Wyatt then from WrestleMania 30, and then we went to WCW Nitro, where we got, like I said, Eric Bischoff's acting like, not Eric Bischoff, we got Bray Wyatt acting like Eric Bischoff. I got nothing but love for all you people out there. Welcome. I love y'all, all y'all out there, except he's wearing a Wolfpack shirt. And then, like I said, Cena, he's supposed to be Hogan, because, you know, there's been comparison for years that Cena was the new Hulk Hogan. He, like I said, he took the hand from his ear and put it in front of him for the "you can't see me." So there's always been comparisons for that, and how crazy it would have been if Cena ever turned heel. And like I said, this is the NWO's version of Cena we got then. And, you know, the Vince puppet saying it's good shit, of course, and going all the way up to now, and Bray Wyatt beats him, okay? You know, I said this last night. Now, I know I called the Boneyard match like the ultimate deletion, final deletion, and yes, it was. And, you know, one thing I should have forgot to mention was that, you know, it's like a Lucha Underground. And I know Lucha Underground probably did it better, because that was Lucha Underground's whole show. You think this is crazy? Like I said, if you haven't seen Lucha Underground, like I said, this was like starter level. This was like a one-time thing. Lucha Underground was doing this crazy stuff every week, okay? Lucha Underground had to do with like mystical demons and Aztec warriors, infinity gauntlets, murder, and all this crazy. It was a wrestling show, but it was just insanity on that show at the same time on Lucha. Come on, there were people murdering each other on Lucha Underground, okay? Murder. And Aztec warriors and time travelers and just infinity gauntlets and stuff. So, and if I had to look at a difference, I felt like the Boneyard match was more of like the final deletion, ultimate deletion. And no, let me say that again. I felt like the Boneyard match was more of a Lucha Underground thing in a way. Like I said, still like the ultimate final deletion. And this FireFly Funhouse, this was like the ultimate deletion, you know, final deletion, or whatever thing Matt Hardy did. Because if you go back and look at the Matt Hardy stuff, Matt Hardy did the same thing, alright? When he did the ultimate deletion and Lake of Reincarnation, this was basically like what Matt Hardy did. A lot of Lake of Reincarnation stuff. When Matt Hardy did it with Jeff and brought back, like, you know, Immortal Jeff Hardy, or Hurricane, or 3 Count from WCW, or just, you know, Big Money Matt, or just old Matt Hardy, like several things. You don't believe me? Go look up. This is basically everything Matt Hardy wanted to do in WWE, except WWE did it now without him, and now he's in AEW. I said this last night, but all I thought from this was, throughout this entire FireFly Funhouse match, I said, when's the rubber match? Would I have liked it if I just saw a regular match between Cena and Wyatt? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen the whole time, until we came up with this whole FireFly Funhouse match. Do I think the Undertaker AJ thing was a little bit better? In a way, yes. I may have enjoyed that a little bit more. I'm not going to lie, I may have liked that one. But that doesn't mean I still enjoyed this one. Like I said, this whole thing is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, okay? I got a kick out of it. It was like a big nostalgia trip and everything. The only thing that's weird is just seeing Cena's haircut most of the time to where it is right now. But, like I said, I guess Bray Wyatt won this match, even though I felt like it was very one-sided half the time, and Cena was getting beat up through it throughout this entire, you know, this whole nostalgia trip, or time traveling, or whatever this was. So basically, WWE just created their own broken universe, okay? Or the Wyatt universe, or whatever this is, with all this insanity, crazy stuff going on. So, I can tell you right now, there are people, like I said about the Boneyard match, there are going to be people that love this and thought it was just awesome and insane and crazy. And yes, it was. And there are going to be people that are probably going to bury this on the internet, shit all over it, and just wonder, why did they even watch this? like I said, in my opinion, I thought it was funny throughout several times, but I just got to the point where it was like, I feel like you need to be really high or on an acid trip or on a whole bunch of drugs to get through this match, okay? You have to be on like several pounds of drugs to get through this match. That's how crazy this was, alright? That's how crazy this match was. But, it's like Titus O'Neil, it said, what the hell did we just watch? So, I guess Bray Wyatt won the match, or The Fiend won the match, or somebody won this match. I'm sure people are saying right now, like, did they really waste Cena's time coming back for this? I don't know. Maybe we will see another match with Wyatt and Cena. Maybe we will see a regular one in the future. Maybe by SummerSlam. I don't know. But I figured Wyatt was going to win and Cena had to put him over, or I guess this was putting him over one way or another, because honestly, I just kind of thought Cena was going to win this match just to win this match. But like I said, I enjoyed a lot of throwbacks and everything, even though I thought the Saturday night's main event and the Nitro thing didn't make sense, NWO version, but I did like a couple of the callbacks and everything. That was good, but like I said, it's very tough to explain this insanity of a match, okay? It was just insanity out there, so this is what you got, and like I said, I could tell Vince was probably taking shots at people throughout the night in this match, especially with the good shit line. But next we go to the main event of this show. Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, WWE title on the line. Of course, Mike Rome did the introduction. Drew ended up hitting Brock 20 seconds in the match with a Claymore kick, near fall, and Drew set up another one. Heyman warned Brock. Brock moved. He gave him a German, and I gave him another German. He hit him with an F5. Drew kicked out at 1. Lesnar hit him with another one, but Drew kicked out at 2. And Brock still looked surprised, and then he smiled like, "Come on, get up." And then he hit him with a third one, and once again, Drew kicked out. Lesnar yelled, and Brock told him, like, keep the pressure on him, keep going, and Brock's like, can go all night. And, he picked up McIntyre then, as Lesnar left. He was going to go for another F5, but Drew ended up hitting him with one Claymore kick after the other, so he hit him with 3 Claymore kicks, and for the final one, he got his 4th Claymore kick and won the title. This match was barely 5 minutes, okay? This is basically the same thing you saw with Goldberg and Braun Strowman. Finisher fest, finisher fest, finisher fest. You might as well have been playing WWE 2K or SmackDown vs. Raw or whatever. But then again, if this was in front of a crowd, I imagine this match going as long as it is anyway. But given that there is no crowd, you gotta get what you can get from here, okay? Overall, I enjoyed Drew winning the title, so I'm glad about that. I like I said, looking past the finisher fest and how it was just, basically the same thing Strowman and Goldberg did the night before. I'm glad Drew McIntyre finally got his due. I'm finally glad he became the WWE champion. I like Drew, so I'm not mad at this, okay? Because a lot of people really kind of came in thinking he was not going to win the title. So it was a feel-good ending for WrestleMania, especially given for what's going on right now. It's great he got the win. So at least we will have a champion that is on TV. I don't know how TV's about to work now, but at least we will have a champion that is on TV every week, I guess. And he pinned Lesnar clean at WrestleMania, and he kicked his head off. Let's see how far they can go with Drew McIntyre being a champion. I've seen a lot of people shit on Drew McIntyre in general for him being a champion, but I'm glad he's the champion, and I was happy with that, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of stepped up out of my seat a little, and I was like, yes, he finally won the belt. But I kind of expected this match to be like 4 or 5 minutes in a way. I would have been good if it was at least 10 minutes, but I was like, this show's about to end at 9:30, so that's basically why it was that quick. Still a waste in a way, especially just for being 4 to 5 minutes, but I think the main important part is that Drew won the match, okay? He won the title. He's the champion. It wasn't much of a match. It was a finisher fest, but, he won the match and he finally got the title. Okay? Overall for this show, and I mean night 2, I'm going to tell you what I liked real quick before we end this off. Drew winning the title, glad about that. Even though it wasn't really much of a match, I'm glad he won the title, but they could have did something with it. Charlotte and Ripley basically, in my opinion, I think they had the best match of the night for the NXT Women's title. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the outcome that much, but I enjoyed the match overall, and I thought it was great. And like I said before, it was 2 giant women kicking the shit out of each other. And it's like my friend Steven said before, that's what Brock and Drew needed to be. And it was like that in a way also, but, just way quicker. But I did enjoy the NXT Women's title match. The Fatal 5-Way SmackDown Women's title match was okay. More story, if you ask me, especially with Sasha and Bayley. So at least we'll see Sasha and Bayley, in the future. I have no problem with Bayley retaining the title. Bianca Belair getting involved, after the tag team title match wasn't that bad. But the tag match was whatever. Could have still been on Raw. Otis getting his big win and getting the girl in the end. I enjoyed that. I liked that, so I was fine with that. That was cool. It would have been better in front of a crowd, of course. Otis would have got a major pop when he pinned Ziggler and, finally got the kiss from Mandy Rose. But, it was still a good conclusion to the entire story. That was good. Black and Lashley had a decent match also for what it was. And I guess we're going to be breaking up, Lashley and Lana pretty soon. So I got no problem with that also. But like I said, that match could have just been used for Monday Night Raw. Edge and Orton is like a hit or miss. I enjoyed the entire build to Edge and Orton, and I enjoyed some of this match, but it just went on way too long. These guys tried to kill each other. That was the point of this match. It was a last man standing. It was a fight. They had to beat the hell out of each other, but I'm not gonna lie, I think Gargano and Ciampa's brawl from the Performance Center was a little bit better than this. This just went on too long. It went on way too long. It didn't need to be. It was the longest match of the night, to be honest, 36 minutes. It was still good for what it was, and Edge was back, and that's great in general, and he finally got the big win, but it didn't need to go on that long, okay? The Firefly Funhouse, you gotta be a decision on that, to be honest. You have to look at it from whatever perspective you can. Like I said, I've already talked about my positives and negatives throughout that entire match. It's an acid trip, okay? It's a nostalgia acid trip. You're either gonna like it or you don't like it. Between this and the Boneyard match, like I said, you're gonna look at it in 2 different opinions. I may have enjoyed the Boneyard match maybe a little bit more. But I can tell, I will say one thing between both the Boneyard and the Firefly Funhouse match. This has Jeremy Borash's hands all over this. I can tell Jeremy Borash had a lot to do with this. Alright, this is, like I said before, this is basically what Matt Hardy has always done and wanted to do in WWE, but it didn't happen. This is basically the ultimate deletion, final deletion, or whatever you've seen on Lucha Underground with this stuff, okay? So, like I said before, you can't have a clear opinion on this Firefly Funhouse match. I don't know whether you can call it good. I don't know whether you can call it bad. I don't know whether you can call it stupid, incredible, bullshit, silly shit, awesome shit. It's going to be a lot of mixed opinions on this, okay? But it was kind of cool to see Cena in his multiple old gear forms from his first ever gear when he got to SmackDown and Basic Thugonomics and even NWO Cena. Like I said, it was a lot of crazy stuff going on in this. I don't know what we'll ever see after this, but I guess this match fit up Bray Wyatt's alley, and it felt like it was a one-sided match anyway, just because it was on Bray Wyatt's turf in general. And like I said, I'm sure people would have wanted to see a regular match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. I wanted to see actually a regular match with Cena and Bray Wyatt, but, this right here was just, I don't know. I don't know. It's, like I said, it's just hard to see what it was, and that's what you can take from it. And Gronk, I don't care about the Gronk thing, so he can kind of fuck off for all I care. I don't really care what he's doing. But yeah, this is what you got out of WrestleMania, okay? Between night 1 and night 2, I may have liked night 2 a little bit better. Okay, because night 1, it was only like 3 matches I really enjoyed. Night 2, at least I had a little bit more to like from here, okay? Like I said, given, and I know I'm saying the word like a lot, but given the circumstances, given the whole corona and everything's going on right now, this is the best you could get out of WrestleMania, okay? Like I said, it would have looked better in front of a crowd, yeah, but you know, I've said this before several times. We don't know how long this is about to keep going on for. I know why they had to do WrestleMania. I may not be the biggest fan of them doing it in these conditions, but hey, you gotta take what you can get from there. And there was some enjoyable stuff from this, okay? People love like I said, I've seen a lot of praise for the Boneyard match. I'm seeing a lot of praise for the FireFly Funhouse match, and some other matches on here also. Okay? So there are positives and negatives to this, but like I said, I've said this before many times. This was going to be a weird WrestleMania going into, a taped WrestleMania in front of no crowd, no fans, and just it's just empty stuff. This was all empty, and you were going to get no fans out of this. Okay, so I'm trying to explain this the best way I possibly can throughout this show. All right, and it was something. All right, so if I look through both nights, how many titles were changed? Okay, we got the WWE title change, NXT Women's title change, Universal title change. So you saw 3 title changes? Yeah, three title changes. That's basically what we saw throughout both nights for WrestleMania, okay? And I know this ain't Wrestle Kingdom and everything, because I'm already seeing people say, well, Wrestle Kingdom had 2 nights, so, this is not comparable to Wrestle Kingdom, okay? It's not. It really isn't, because a lot of matches were just thrown together at the last minute. Wrestle Kingdom is different, so I'm not really going to compare New Japan and WWE, and I'm sure people may have thought that WWE kind of stole New Japan, because it's like, hey, do you really want to play over 17 matches in an 8-hour show? No, people would need several cups of coffee to keep themselves up for the next 8 to 9 hours, okay? That's why they split it up into times, and both of these shows were 4.5 hours to 5, okay? Because the show started 6 p.m., right? Went all the way to 9 p.m. Tonight, 9:30 p.m. If you want to count the pre-show, that's at least 5 to 6.5 hours. Let's see, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9. That's 4 or 5 hours, or 4.5 hours. So I can see why they split it up into 2 nights. So like I said before, it's things I do like, and then there's things I don't like. So there's positives and negatives. So that's all I really got to say about WrestleMania. Okay, this was one of the strangest WrestleManias you could ever talk about, or ever saw, or ever review, or whatever. So that's all I can really take from this. It's crazy, all right. But like I said, I enjoyed some parts. I did get a kick out of some shit. I did get a kick out of some things tonight and last night. So this is my WrestleMania 36 Part 2 review. So other than that, we've been doing this for over an hour now, so comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about Night 2 in general of WrestleMania. What did you enjoy the most out of this entire show? What did you hate out of this show? Or did you just even like this show in general? Okay? Because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of mixed opinion thoughts regarding both Night 1 and Night 2 as we're doing this review right now to WrestleMania. I probably will find a way to combine both of these videos into one so I can just have Part 1 and Part 2 play together, but I am going to keep them separate right now, and this is the Part 2 review I'm doing. So, follow me on Twitter, at HoodedKnight890, and tell me what you thought about WrestleMania 36. So, yeah, this is my WrestleMania 36 review, people. I'm out of here. Stay safe. Wash your hands. We'll be back tomorrow night for a Raw review. And I'm sure after this week, I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of WWE after a while. Because like I said, all this is taped, so I don't know if we're going to be getting any new content after this week, okay? Or unless they tape some more stuff I don't know about. Because they're already trying to promote Money in the Bank. And I don't know how that's about to work next month. But I don't think it's happening in general. So, hey, WrestleMania went on one way or another, and it happened, okay? So, I'm done from here. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. I got some editing to do. Peace. 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 Peace.